4.2. Here's the old gem. Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000 should be a last resort. And yet, what do we hear every fucking time? Oh, it's that last resort. It was a great resort. We all stayed there. It was, no, not one of those resorts. Last resort for the cops to use, even though it's the first resort they go to. Learn your rights, everybody. That's where you need to start learning. Your rights exist before any license or contract or agreement or consent ever happens. Your rights were there first. Don't downgrade them to something else. G'day everybody. This video is, well, let me put some background on it. This video is the NPC, or the National Police Chiefs Council's memo that they sent in December 2021, or review date, sorry, is December 2021. It's version 1.4. It's something that Dino chucked us all in Deanology's live chat today, and I figured that seeing some police officers find it difficult to read, I might read it out for them. Now, we don't have this sort of crap in New Zealand. Yes, on the occasion, a police officer may come out and stop you when you're recording police. I know, trust me. But there's only 12,000 odd police officers. Well, sorry, between 8.4 and 12,000 police officers in New Zealand, and they do a very strict, stringent sort of intellectual tests, and of course if you reach too high you don't get in. So yeah, this is for those types that don't like to read, and I know I do have a lot of police watchers from New Zealand. Thanks for the thumbs downs, guys. But yeah, this is mainly for the UK audience. I've been spending a fair bit of time on the UK live chats with Deanology in the last lockdowns, so yeah, I found this was really interesting. And if you're going to go out and bloody well audit, if you can't save this video that reads it out to the idiots, then grab it. I'm going to leave a copy of this on my Google Drive. The link will be in the description of the video. If anybody needs it, click on the Google Drive link and go and download it. It's there for everybody to have. But yeah, it's a lot better, instead of just saying, look, there was a memo, didn't you read it, to actually pull out what you're fucking talking about. They want information off of you. Give them some. It's that simple. Anyway, without further ado, I'll read on. Now, this is Security Classification Official. It was a FOIA request. Author is Helen Morder from the NPCC and Local Policing Coordination Committee Communications Advisory Group. It's sent to Media Relations APP, Public Order APP and Conflict Management, and as I said before, the next review date is December 2021. It's entitled Auditors, Social Media Bloggers, Initial Guidance. Alright. The National Police Chief Council has agreed to these guidelines being circulated to adopt police forces in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. That's to be adopted by you. Okay, you don't get a choice. Guidelines produced by the NPCC should be used by chief officers to shape police responses to ensure that the public experience consistent levels of service. Because consistently right now they're abusing Section 43. The implementation of all guidance will require operational choices to be made at local level in order to achieve the appropriate police response. The purpose of this guidance is to assist force personnel to conduct themselves accordingly when interacting with self-proclaimed auditors. Gotta love the condescending fucking wording. Self-proclaimed auditors and social media bloggers. This guidance will be updated and republished as necessary. And this guidance has been around since 2010, people. 11 years and they're still doing it. Any queries relating to this document should be directed to either the author detailed above or the NPCC Business Support Office on 020 7084 8959 or 8958. Okay, and that's copyright 2020 National Police crummy cunts. Right, contents, and of course here we have all the multiple of sections we have in this guidance. Is number one is your auditor social media bloggers. Number two is ACPO guidance of photographers, and like I said, 2010, how to respond to auditors and bloggers in case the police fail to use common sense and logic. And then there's powers, and then circulation of guidance. So let's jump on into section 1. Section 1, auditors, social media bloggers. 1.1, there is an increasing number of reported incidents with the United Kingdom regarding auditors and social media bloggers. The auditors or bloggers are members of the public who attend police stations, other public civil service buildings, including ministries of defence sites, or incidents with the purpose of capturing staff on camera and live streaming to social media platforms or uploading with edited content. Very rarely do they live stream. A lot of it is edited content, is because we're putting more information other than the unedited full video. But we'll carry on. 1.2. Auditing blogging is a behaviour that has common practice in the USA for a number of years and is developing a growing community of auditors. Sorry about that, Fiscal. I know you don't like that word community. Of auditors, subscribers and viewers throughout the United Kingdom. 1.3. The auditors use security concerns surrounding the filming of staff and premises alongside limited powers to prevent it. To prevent what? You guys having a concern? Get some counselling. Because there's no lawful or legal concerns with it. If you have a security concern, work it out. Deal with your insecurity and get yourself checked out. And if you're insecure about a camera, you should not be in the police force. You pricks use them all day, every day. All of your colleagues are recording you at every incident. So what should it matter if we are? Where are we? Premises alongside limited powers to prevent it. They appear to provoke staff and site security into potential embarrassing reactions. Nope, no provocation there at all. Showing up there merely with a camera, keeping your mouth shut, will make them come out and act unprofessional and uneducated, as well as an embarrassing reaction. Because yes, it is embarrassing for the entire police force. Often asserting that staff are overstepping legal boundaries, because they are. They are also well versed in their own rights. Oh God, that's something you police should be afraid of. And often cite legislation in their interactions with staff. And all of those legislative citing is absolutely perfect. It's a shame that the constables aren't as clued up on basic legislation as the auditors and bloggers are, really, isn't it? What does that say about the police force? Are you not training your staff correctly? Any perception they are under police surveillance is likely to be challenged robustly and potentially publicly. Any perception they're under police surveillance? There's no perception, there's no delusion. We're all under 100% surveillance anywhere in public. Doesn't matter if the police is surveilling us, or the cop shop, or the dairy, or the service station, or the supermarket. There's cameras on us 24 hours a day, on all of us. So, perception that we're under surveillance, well, that depends if the police are actually using their powers of surveillance legally, wouldn't it? Auditors/bloggers should not be confused with hostile reconnaissance. Got that, officers? They should not, that's N-O-T, be confused with hostile reconnaissance, which is by its nature covert. Exactly. Someone standing there in a bright fucking fluoro top with a camera in broad fucking daylight is not covert. Hostile reconnaissance will cover and test. Are you ready? Security vulnerabilities, only if they're insecure. Patrol routes, no, we don't give a fuck about that sort of thing. Shift patterns, no, but if we show up there at shift change, it's always good. Layout of a venue, yeah, Google Maps helps us out with most of those things, people. And security practices. Well, again, if you're abiding by the law, there's nothing to worry about, is there? And that stands for all those, security guards that like to cover their badge that means they're accredited. Covering their badge makes them a threat to the general public because they don't want to be held accountable when they shouldn't be standing there like a fucking muppet getting paid a good wage doing fuck all. They shouldn't be standing there. Anyway, if you have reasonable suspicion that it is hostile reconnaissance, please report into your regional counter-terrorism unit. Do you understand that, police officers? If you have reasonable suspicion that it's hostile reconnaissance, okay, so if your insecurities and paranoia affect you, constable, so much that you think they're being hostile reconnaissance against you, like recording a publicly known license plate which is owned by the DVLA, moving on, or Land Transport Authority over here is LTSA, Land Transport Safety Authority. Reconnaissance, please report into your regional counter-terrorism unit. So why the fuck aren't you idiots? You've had 11 years. Why the fuck aren't you contacting them? You know, the counter-terrorism unit's been around, I'm sure, a lot longer than 11 years. Or did 7/7 happen before or after? Oh no, it was before. You fucking idiots. 2. ACPO guidance for photographers 2010, where they literally just fucking regurgitate something that's 11 years old. 2.1. Auditors bloggers have referred to the ACPO guidance for photographers 2010 document during some of their recordings. For the purposes of this guidance document, the following points taken from the ACPO guidance for photographers 2010 will continue to act as the same guiding principles. Okay, there are no powers prohibiting the taking of photographs, film, or digital images in a public place. Therefore, members of the public and press should not be prevented from doing so. There is no distinction between public and press. We all have the rights that the press have. There's no distinction. We need cooperation with the media and amateur photographers. They play a vital role as their images help us identify criminals, which I have personally done. I chased a fucker down that was stealing 2 phones, got the guy on film, and he went for a skate. Alright, so, and yes, I helped the cops out. I gave them the footage. Because that's what you do if you're a moral or ethical person. We must acknowledge that citizen journalism is a feature of modern life, and police officers are now photographed and filmed more than ever, especially by their colleagues and their body cameras. Unnecessarily restricting photography where for the casual tourist or professional is unacceptable. Got that, boys? Girls? Unacceptable. And it undermines public confidence in the police service. It undermines public confidence and trust in the police service is what it also does. Don't forget, with confidence comes trust. Trust and confidence. At least that's what the New Zealand police seem to like to fucking try and keep their heart on about anyway. Once an image has been recorded, the police have no power to delete it or confiscate it without a court order. Got that? Alright? To all of you guys, all of you security and police officers out there that say, oh, sorry, you're going to have to delete that, go fuck yourself. Get a court order. Then we'll listen. 2.2. The College of Policing also has guidance that can be accessed through the Media Relations app and the Public Order app, which chief constables and local commanders may wish to use alongside this guidance. You think? Well, they haven't yet.